Transformers review. Gonna get a couple of things out of the way first. Firstly, Hasbro's new Devastator, as people have been asking me about it. Yes, I love it. I think I will possibly pick that up, and I'd probably end up selling Hercules in order to fund the third-party extensions that are going to come out with it. My main thing about it is I think Long Haul needs an overhaul severely. So I imagine some third-party company is going to bring out bits and pieces and hopefully a new Long Haul, because that thing is ugly. But get on it, fans project. Other than that, I do think it's really, really nice. As to what I'm going to be reviewing today, I'm going to be doing Warbotrons WBC001 LV226. It's Afterburner! Why am I doing this one? Well, obviously one of my very first videos was Computron. And most people are aware, you know, Computron is one of my favourite combiners, after, obviously, Superion. Actually, in many regards, I think I actually prefer Computron to Superion. There's just something about all 5 of those combiners that really, really just sings to me! So we're going to be doing Afterburner. I do have the other Warbotron box set, Bruticus. It may get a review at some point, I honestly don't know. As much as I like it, I just haven't been inspired to sit down there. To those people who've asked me where the other 2 parts to my Uranus video are, well, I've got 2 problems with that. One, I've got to reshoot the last 2 parts because I did it a good while ago now, and then reformatted my hard drive and lost the videos before I could upload them. And secondly, as most people are aware, as well, some people are aware, I actually lost one of the parts when I moved house to Uranus, namely Fireflight, so I'd be showing you a one-armed man. So, at some point I'll get round to that, maybe, possibly. But until then, let's have a look at this fella. Now, in the Generation 1 bio, Afterburner is described as an extraordinarily short-tempered hothead. It does seem to be a later thing with a lot of the Autobots, is that they're really short-tempered and violent. He gets aggressive really quickly, absolutely hates authority, which puts him in line an awful lot with Scattershot's back character bio, and generally just goes, Autobot, bleh. However, he is able to set aside his rage long enough to form Computron, and apparently his inner mentalities don't actually affect the way Computron operates with his slow and purposeful walk and way of doing things. Skipping the Generation 1 TV series completely, as I've kind of covered it already in my original Computron video, well, what's Afterburner been up to in the IDW comics? Fuck all is the answer to that. Now, the Technobots were in the Stormbringer series, so cast your minds back quite a way. It has definitely been a while since the Technobots have been around, and to my knowledge there hasn't been a sniff of them in the current IDW RID and More Than Meets the Eye runs. Get on it, Roberts. Now, Afterburner was part of the Autobots. There's someone at the door. Sorry about that. Neighbour. Drinking my Mountain Dew. Better not have been you, dog. Oh, I'm gonna have a retriever climbing the walls. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah! Afterburner. Now, in the IDW continuity, we start off with the Technobots in Stormbringer. Now, whilst the other Technobots go down onto a planet with Jetfire in order to look out for some strange energy readings from this world that is supposedly dead, Nosecone and Afterburner are left aboard their ship, the Calabi-Yau. But they're shot down. Well, the ship comes under fire from Bludgeon and his team of fanatics, and they're eventually shot down. They end up stranded on the planet, where they're attacked by Centurion droids, until Optimus Prime comes along and leads them to safety. And it's a pretty good job, because between the Centurion droids and the radiation, they were pretty much going to end up a little bit stuffed if they weren't careful. After this, Optimus Prime goes up against Jahaxus, you know, everyone's favourite supervillain aside from batshit insane Galvatron. And Jahaxus is currently working on the Pretender 6. With the aid of the Technobots, Optimus Prime rescues them and takes them to Garrus 9, where they can stop them ever becoming Monstructor and going a little bit crazy and trying to destroy the universe. However, before that can happen, before they can safely make Monstructor safe, the Garrus 9 is attacked by the Combaticons with the help of the Decepticon Secret Service. Now, Technobots were given orders, excuse the phone, the Technobots were given orders to destroy Monstructor rather than let it fall into enemy hands. Unfortunately, that doesn't actually happen, as Vortex triggers a device that gets in the way a little bit, and it's actually been a really long time since I've read these comics. Afterburner was later stationed at the Khmer facility, and he was there in time for when Cyclonus and his army of sweeps attack and pretty much slaughter everybody inside. Though it has to be said that Afterburner and Lightspeed did actually make a very valiant stand against them, they really weren't much of a match in order to stop them. Cyclonus was using the facility in order to make a massive laser cannon, and Lightspeed and Afterburner, rather than allow this to happen, they used the charges to destroy the facility from within. Very noble act of self-sacrifice that goes against pretty much all of Afterburner's character bio, and I realise I'm coming across sounding very wooden in this part of the video, mainly because I find myself really out of practice. I really should start doing some proper videos again. But anyway, onto the toy. Now, Warbotron, of course, this is Warbotron's second release for a complete robot, in the form that they've obviously already done Bruticus. And as, you know, I might get around to reviewing that at some point. I really like Bruticus' toy. The toy, I think he's a phenomenal combiner. I like all four parts. I think the only one that's a really weak link is Onslaught. But there we go. This is about Afterburner. Very obviously G1 homage. So it's obviously, you know, a G1 hummus. Joke really didn't work. Anyway. So it's very reminiscent of the kind of the 80s futuristic sci-fi Tron-inspired jet bike, light bike, that wasn't, that even though obviously Make Toys one was much more inspired by a Tron bike, which was really nice, but there we go. You can of course put the guns, are obviously detachable, because you've just watched me detach them, and you can pretty much stick them in any of the 5mm peg holes that are situated on the toy itself. The wheels do move, though they're not particularly great on a flat surface, so you'd need to put it on like a, I don't know, they're not going to run around on a flat surface that well. Love the colours. Very, very nice. As far as I'm concerned, Warbotron at the moment can't really do an awful lot wrong, and this is just another indicative of it. I mean, I've seen, obviously I do have Lightspeed and Nosecone pre-ordered. They'll be coming to me from Chumanung. They're pre-ordered. I have seen the renders of Scattershot. I haven't yet seen anything of Strafe. I don't know if there's any pictures of him out there, but there we go. It's a bike. It's a very nice bike. It's a great size. If their Computron is the same size as their Bruticus, he is going to be ginormous because he is massive. Okay, transforming him. Now, one thing I will say about Warbotron, I've noticed this in all of theirs except for, what's his name? Swindle. They seem to be parts formers to some shape or degree. Now, so you take the back off, and then they split in two. When it comes to parts formers, I will freely admit, I don't really have a massive issue with it. You know, you can transform Uranus as pretty much a parts former. You can take all the wings off to give it a much more smooth robot look. I really don't have a huge issue with parts forming. It's not something that bothers me. I tend to get most irate about back kibble, usually because the toy ends up being top heavy. But there we go. Anyway, transforming him. Very simplistic transformation, because as we know, I do like simple things, hence why I had such nerd rage over Make Toys Quantron. A, because it was too small, and B, because it was such a nightmare to transform. They were my biggest problems with the toy. Nick, I hope you're enjoying it more than I did. Transforming him. Really simple transformation. Oh, see, take those two bits off, snap the wheel down, fold it under. You can fold it up as much. I'll get to how well you can fold it in a bit. And then he just pretty much just unfolds. That's pretty much all he does. Adjust the cockpit, so fold that down on his legs. God, I feel like I've gone back in time doing this video. We shouldn't be allowed to have toys. The legs pull down. The arms just fold down, unclip from the exhausts. Turn the head, pull that wheel down just for a moment. Will I be able to get the arms out without the use of a pen lift? Or, actually yes, I remember that now doing this toy. Get the gun barrel, or get the gun, pull out the handle, and you can just squeeze out the hands. Like so. The last thing you do is you take the front wheel and you just pull it apart and fold it down. Now there's numerous ways that you can do this. You can have it up like this. I actually fold it down somewhat, so that it doesn't really get in the way of him. That's him transformed. Obviously you can take these bits. Now I usually stick them to his shoulders, because they just tend to bulk him out a bit. You know, I remember, you know, one of the complaints about Warbotron's Brawl that I had was that it was very... Of course now I can't flip and do it. It was very skinny if you didn't put the back on it. That's how I did it, or did I do it the other way? No, I did it the other way. That's how I did it. I am useless. There we go. So you've got him like that. These fold up like this, and you can turn them into like shoulder mecha cannons. Pew, 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 pew. I'll stop doing that now. Obviously guns fit in the hands. Great degree of articulation, as you would expect now from third party. He has shoulder swivel, bicep, though it's more on his elbow swivel, elbow joint, wrist swivel, waist swivel. Oh no, hang on, does it? Yes, waist swivel. Upper thigh swivel, knee, no ankle joints. The front foot part does twist a little bit, But if you want added stability, you can actually just pull these bits out, which, to my understanding, actually serve no other purpose other than add stability to the standing mode for those suitably heroic action poses. Great light piping in the head, as you would expect. And these have light piping. Well, it's clear plastic. I don't know why they're there. It could just be for the aesthetics look, but on the whole, I really like that little bit. Now, onto the actual toy itself. Other than that, I love it. I think it's really nice. And like their blast-off, I think it's a really, really strong front runner. Now, I've said on Facebook, and you can relate it to my previous video on third-party stuff, and is the third-party market is becoming saturated. I think Warbotron are one of the ones that have come out with a really, really strong first rendition in their form of Bruticus. I know some people have had QC issues with them. I haven't had any QC issues with Bruticus, to be completely honest with you. I did have some with, well, I had one with Gutter, when I bought Gutter, when it was on special offer, and the thigh broke, which I wasn't impressed about, and I wouldn't mind, but I wasn't being particularly heavy-handed with it. It just broke. Anyway, yeah. Train of thought now. Yeah, Warbotron. I currently am a Warbotron fanboy. I think they are bringing out some fantastic stuff. They're good quality. They're a great size. They look great. There's great playability in them. I think they are better looking than both TFC and MMC. And I think they're one of the ones that are going to be around if they can deliver on this one. They need to increase their shipping schedules. I will say that about them, because the time it took for Onslaught to come out was just beyond a frickin' joke. The time delay between the three. I mean, I think I had Blast-Off and Swindle for a good long time before I got Vortex. Before I got Brawl, Vortex, and then Onslaught. Hopefully the next two parts to this won't be too long coming out, but I do think that these guys are a really strong front runner for staying in the market for a while, especially seeing as we know that their next one is going to be Menasor, which no one else has done properly yet, apart from, of course, Fans Toys, but Fans Toys are on the same scale as Make Toys anyway, so they're two different types of market, I think, in some regards. I can't believe the third-party market is actually now getting sub-genres. Those that fit with the Masterpiece and those that fit with the Chug. Says it all about just how big this market's getting for such a small crowd. On the whole, I would recommend this guy. I think he's a great toy. I love him. I can't wait to see what he's going to go up against when I complete Abominus, because of course we've also got Unique Toys doing Ordin. I don't know, maybe my last video that I put saying we need an Abominus, somebody give us an Abominus, we need a Blot, and the first thing that comes out next on my Facebook feed is Blot. It's like, oh, that's brilliant. I wonder if so I'm now going to say, why hasn't my lottery win been given some love? I need a Euro Millions, Mega Millions lottery win. You never know. But anyway, definitely pick him up. But I do really, really like Warbotron. The flaws that I can find with him, no foot swivel, it's a little bit, but it's not a huge one. My biggest complaint about him is that the guns don't fit very well in the hand, which isn't really a problem, because you can arm mount them for Seeker S, Cannon, Glory, and then don't forget you have got, which I love. I thought that was a great little touch. I think a lot of thought has gone into these toys, and they are really, really, really nice, and they've done a really good job with them. Roll on getting the next ones. I think the next ones that are coming out is Lightspeed or Nose Cone. I'm not entirely sure which one's out next. I hope it's Lightspeed, because Lightspeed's always been my favourite thingamabob. But for now, this is Silbolt. Apologies for the rather wooden delivery of the character bio. I will admit I kind of cheated on this one. I'd kind of got the laptop down here because I honestly couldn't remember it, and then I thought, well, I can't dig out all my old comics and spend 3 hours reading through all my old comics just to get the backdrop and the memory, so I kind of cheated a little bit and had the wiki. But for now, this is Silverbolt with Warbotrons Afterburner signing off, saying au revoir, adios, auf Wiedersehen.